Alright, let's get this out the way. Charlotte coming out tonight. Brand new saga starting, but they technically call this a series in the roadmap. Like, damn, what the fuck? The Rabbids is finally here on Global. It's been a while since they've came out in JP, but we're finally getting them, which means Natasha and all those other characters will eventually be coming to the game. We don't know when, but of course, we're starting out with Charlotte. You can still probably do some fun stuff here and there with her, but for the most part, if you're more of a meta slave or you're just like extremely cautious with your crystals, you're free to play or whatever, I don't think this is the character necessarily for you. If you look at her kit, she's doing a few big booms here and there, but for the most part, I think we already have units in the game that kind of do something similar to her. The main reason that I would really go for this unit is possibly just for her true art stat buff with fire allies, and not to mention too, the arch generation that she gives as long as she's the leader of the party for the first 20 seconds of a quest. This stuff, of course, is very minor, it's not anything big, but still could be something extremely valuable in certain situations and certain compositions. Overall though, I just don't think she's going to be the character we need for Mono Fire. Considering Mono Fire just recently got a really strong attacker as well, being Kyoko, and not to mention the list of attackers they have like Stark, Delta, Summer Miyu, Oi, Minas, like you guys get the point. I don't think we're lacking in terms of damage whatsoever. In reality though, if you did want to use this character on Mono Fire, I guess the team that you would probably rock out with would be a Charlotte, a Summer Iris, a Valentine's Priscilla, and I guess you would cap the thing off with Sunraku and just call it a day. But I just feel like this team doesn't really need Charlotte. Like there's a lot of other options in this final slot that we could go with here that just is going to overall help the team out a lot more. You go with Kiris if you need a bit more tanking. Demiurge can be used alongside all of these passive damage mitigations to make his barrier really strong. Or if you don't really need like a barrier because you already have all this DR and the healing technically, why not just rock out with another damage dealer like Kyoko or Makoto or whoever. The point that I'm trying to get at, even though this girl wields one Blade of Chaos, she's a little mid now, considering how long it took them to release this character. And if you don't think it's been that long, ladies and gentlemen, it's been over a year since this Charlotte came out in the Japanese version. And if she'd released any sooner, she would have definitely had some time to shine, but it seems like now more than ever, GS is very slow at releasing Grand Summoners units. Speaking of which, I know a lot of you guys are gonna say the thing, like OP, but you're not considering the fact that she also has super crit, so she could possibly be a very good damage dealer or nuker. Considering this character has 100% super crit as long as she has not taken any damage. But like I already said before, do we really need more damage, ladies and gentlemen? I'm pretty sure you have a character that already hits just as hard as this Charlotte, if not harder. Let's not act like most of us didn't spend all of our life savings getting Okarune. So overall, I would say this banner is not worth Charlotte alone. However, her banner is actually a bit enticing. Considering this is a 3 Ascended unit banner with Charlotte, Super Saiyan God Valerie, and Kiris, that's kinda good, man. I know I don't talk about Super Saiyan God Valerie really at all anymore, but this character still just absolutely shits out damage. If you ever wanted like a unit that you could build a team around and just go crazy with, don't look any further than Super Saiyan God Valerie. With her like ratio passive built into her super arts, not to mention like all of the additional damage ups she gives herself and just how hard she hits on a daily, plus the fact she's on mono water, she can be used alongside this guy and just buff up her damage to Kingdom Come even more. Yeah, Super Saiyan God Valerie is one of the hardest hitting units in the entire game even now. A very fun unit to mess around with, very cool, and I would say this is kind of on the same level as Charlotte. Like if you love Charlotte because you know she does lots of damage, you're gonna love Valerie because she does just as much damage, if not more. But then you have like the complete opposite end of the spectrum here with Kiris. Now Kiris on this banner is good, but also not as good as he would have been prior to like the Forever Summon changes. Since you can get Kiris in the Forever Summon now, even with it being a relatively low chance, get lucky and you wind up pulling Kiris, he's still a relatively strong taunt tank. I would say arguably he's not as strong as some of the other taunt tanks, still is very good, but considering we have other characters in the game now, like Madoka for an example, that can cleanse DR on whoever, plus also Fearin as well being able to do the same thing. Kirisame's gimmick is still strong, but it's not like, oh, you know, he's the only one that can do that. If a lot of you guys have been playing for like the last 6 months, you have definitely gotten quite a few taunt tanks. There's been a few that's came out that bit better, I would say, than Kirisame, or possibly on the same level as him. So he may not be like the go-to for you, especially right now during this crossover, because Sayaka's here. And I'm gonna be honest, I would rather you get Sayaka over Kirisame, especially right now. That would just be my recommendation. If you had to pick one or the other, I would personally recommend you take Sayaka every single day of the week. Still doesn't discredit what Kirisame can do and how good he is or whatever. Still a very good unit, very strong, and overall solid. Overall, I would say with this banner, I would skip. I know that sounds crazy after everything I've talked about, but I wouldn't do the 50 pull on here. I know some of you guys, you know, maybe always do the 50 pull. If that's your routine or whatever, hey, go on ahead, do that. I ain't gonna stop you. But me, myself, I just don't really like this banner whatsoever. Not to mention, I would just rather save everything I have for this new Simon that we will be getting relatively soon. I'm assuming within the next like 2 to 3 weeks we should be seeing Simon. But hey, you guys let me know down below in the comment section if you're gonna be summoning for this girl or not. Do you like this banner? Do you kind of hate it? Do you think it's kind of a trap banner? Let me know all that type of stuff down below. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been your boy P, and if you enjoyed this video, I recommend check out this video popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you'll love it. Oh, and one more thing before you all leave, don't forget to drink water.